Ukraine, and he didn't. And fifth, while Biden wants to drive up prices even further with the largest tax hike in history, all my life I've been watching politics, and I've always sort of enjoyed politics, I guess. Otherwise, I wouldn't be up here right now. But I've been watching it, and I've always seen politicians want to do tax cuts. This is the only group. They want to increase your taxes by four times higher than you're paying right now. They don't want the Trump tax cuts to be permanent. They want to end the tax cuts. We gave you the largest tax cut in history. They want to terminate that at the end of another 6-7 months. And can you imagine that? And I want to make them permanent, and then I'm going to reduce taxes by still more. Do you know that after we gave the tax cuts, our country took in with half the tax. Our country took in because of incentives and because we had the greatest economy in the history of our country. Do you know we took in more tax revenue with far less tax? We taxed at far less, but we took in much more revenue. Think of that. So we cut taxes down from 49 for business, 49, much more than that when you add in state and local, down to 21%. And yet we took in more revenue at a much lower rate. Who would think that's even possible? But that's the way it works. I want to get it down still further, and especially for the middle-income people. We're going to get it down still further. That's why we had such great job production. Best job production in history. And as part of those tax cuts, I've announced that I will eliminate taxes on tips for restaurant workers, hospitality workers, and anyone else that gets tips. No more taxes on tips. You know how I did that? It wasn't really a lot of study, a lot of work. I've been hearing about it for years, how unfair it is. And Biden just passed a set of regulations that make it impossible for waitresses and people that get tips, any people getting tips. He passed something that makes it impossible. But I've been hearing, and last week I was in Las Vegas at a beautiful building that I built and is great, the Trump Hotel. And I'm having, oh, you like it, I like it too. And I was having dinner with a group of people on the campaign, and the waitress came over. She was very nice, and I said, if you could have any wish, what would it be? She said, that we get rid of the taxes on tips, sir. They're so vicious. You know, they hired 88,000 IRS agents to go after people. And she said, it's so vicious what they do, and the new regulations passed by Biden are so vicious. And I said, wait a minute, I have an idea. We shouldn't have people pay tax on tips. Will I have your votes on that in the front row? Would that be good? We got 6 votes. We don't even need the votes. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. We're going to do it quick. No tax on tips, okay? It's done. Done. And we need to spread the word so that every time you leave a tip for the next 5 months, you put on the receipt, vote for Trump because there's no tax on tips. You see that? That was done. See the screen? That was done by somebody. They voted. This is a person paying. And they said, vote for Trump. There'll be no tax on tips. That's a person that was a tipster as opposed to a tippee.